Hey guys, what's going on, and welcome back to another Slime Nation Destiny video. So, once again, another slow week for Destiny 2 news. It's basically the same thing for the past 2 weeks. And if you Google Destiny 2 and then look at the news tab, you'll see that the articles are a lot more speculative and opinionated this time around. Basically, that means the real news is hard to come by. But I'm sure this Thursday we will hear more to keep us on our toes. And then, let's not forget, E3 will soon be at hand, and I'm also willing to bet that a Destiny beta date will come along with it. Anyway, let's focus on the here and now and check out this week's reset guide. It's Tuesday, May 30th, and this is your Destiny Age of Triumph weekly reset guide. So I hope all of you out there had an amazing start to kick off your summer. Memorial Day has always been one of my favorite national holidays, a way to kick off the summer, the start of the beach season, honoring a serious day and stuffing it full of parties. If you think about it, it's the biggest celebration of life in the US, and that is always awesome. I'll say more about that when I get to the end of the video, but first, let's check out what the most addicting game in the world has to offer us this week. Alright, so welcome to Orbit, my compadres, and as always, we're going to start up here first and see what everything has to offer in terms of the weekly playlist. So first, we're going to the CRUCIBLE, and this week's weekly is Mayhem Rumble. It's where you get your Treasures of Ages box. Embrace the chaos, my friends. Increased ability and recharge rates. So that's always a good time. Mayhem's just a fun Crucible match. I mean, no matter what it is. 6v6, obviously my favorite, the Clash, but you know, Rumble's not too bad. In terms of the other rotating playlists, we have Clash this week, Rift. Of course, Osiris will change this over to Trials on come Friday. Then we have Skirmish, and finally, Rumble Supremacy. And of course, down here at the end, we have private matches, so you can get your Sparrow racing on, or shoot some friends. Alright, so next up, let's check out this week's Nightfall, and we'll start off with the Modifiers. First up, we have Epic. Heavily shielded, highly aggressive enemies appear in great numbers. Following that, Berserk, Minions of Darkness won't flinch even after massive damage. And then Small Arms, primary weapon damage is favored. Chaff, player radar is disabled, and then Match Game. Enemy shields are resistant to all unmatched elemental damage. Alright, well, not too bad. No burn. There's not grounded isn't on, so besides, you know, Match Game, that's really the only one to worry about. Anyways, let's jump in and see who we're taking down this week.
The Dust Palace is lost to us again, back in Cabal hands. Word is they've let Scion Flayers out of their cages to dig around in the central AI's cortex, which means they really want what's buried in there. If Rasputin was protecting it, it's valuable. We've got to flush those Flayers out.
So we have the Scion Flayers, which is not really my favorite strike. It's kind of boring, and but the good thing is that if your fire team has all swords, you can easily blow through the guys at the end. Since match game is on, you're going to need to match up sword to shield. So at the end, might as well get your solar, your void, and your arc out there and go to town on these guys. Alright, well that's it for the Nightfall, guys. Next, let's check out the Heroic Strike and see what kind of things we're going to have to deal with this week. Alright, so for SIVA Crisis Heroic, first up we have Epic's little brother, Heroic. Enemies appear in greater numbers and are more aggressive. Following that, Solar Burn, solar damage from any source is greatly increased. Then we have Berserk, Minions of Darkness won't flinch even after massive damage, and then Berserk Brawler. Guardian melee damage is greatly increased. So, once again, not that bad. With Solar Burn, it's going to be pretty easy. You just have to watch out for a couple strikes. Of course, the Shield Brothers being the biggest one. Alright, so next up, let's take a look at the daily playlists and see what we're dealing with this week. Of course, it changes, and this week it is the Iron Lords playlist, so that's going to be a fun one. Alright, first up, Heroic. You know what that is. Then we have Void Burn, and at the end, Small Arms. So, get out your Word of Crota and just go to town. Alright, well next up, it is the weekly featured raid, and as you might know by now, it is awesome. It's the Vault of Glass with the Templar and the Atheon challenge. So if you haven't done the Vault of Glass since last month, well, come on back, guys, because it is ready for you. Alright, guys, well I think that's it. Nightfall, SIVA Crisis, Heroic, Yep, we are good to go. So our first stop, what do you say? Where should we go? Let's go ahead and go to the reef. Let's get the reef out of the way. Nothing ever cool happens there. So, alright, well, let's head down and see what's going on. So, welcome to the reef, my friends. And as always, we're going to check out Vetra first. See what's going on with my cutie pie. Well, one-eyed cutie pie.
However I can help.
What's up, girl? Alright, so first let's take a look at the bounties, and then we'll head over to Varix and see what's up with him. So, first up, we have Take the Wanted, kill the Blighted Descendant. After that, take them out Cosmodrome, you're going to need to kill 12 lieutenants. Then we have Take them all, kill 100 taken. As for the newer bounties, Queen's Harvest, gather 15 dark nuclei from majors or ultras in any strike playlist. I'm going to use that one actually. Then we have Queen's Treasure, open the treasure chest in the level 41 Prison of Elders. And the last one here is Queen's Eye, which is kind of funny. Kill 30 taken with precision shots. You know, Queen's Eye, and she has an eye patch. You don't get the connection. Anyway, alright. So, moving on to Varix. Let's see what he's going to do. And, as always, I'll take his box of goodies. Give me some of them goodies.
I help you.
Something good?
Help me.
Meh. Alright, so first, bounties, and then we'll take a look at the entry. So, first up, we have Close Still Counts. Use grenades to kill enemies in level 41 PoE or the challenge. Following that, Shadow Boxer, use void abilities to do the same. And then the last one here, Firefighter, use solar abilities to kill enemies in level 41 PoE or the challenge. And for the super secret challenge entry modifier, we have Precision Kill bonus. Precision kills are worth more points. Alright guys, well that wraps up for the reef. Next, let's go to the Iron Temple and see what's going on over there. Okay, welcome to Fellwinter Peak, friends, and our first stop will be Shiro, and then after that, we'll check out Granny G on the hill and see what goodness she has for us. So, for Shiro, we'll take a look at his bounties first, and then the class items to see if we have any max rolls. Alright, first up for Iron Lord bounties, we have Together We Rise, complete public events in the Plaguelands. You need 5 of those to get that one done. Following that, pull the plug, kill fallen majors or ultras, and then we have Forge bounties, which I hate, which this one here is Captains. Get 4 victories with Captain encounters, and then the other one here is Servitors. Get 4 Servitor encounters in the Archon's Forge. Alright, so for class items, first up, we have Mantle of Galeon for the Hunter coming in at 34 with 34, Intellect Discipline, which is not max roll, but it is a tier 12 roll, so that's not too bad. Following that, we have Silamar's Iron Sash for the Titan coming in at 32-33 Discipline Strength, which is meh. And then for the Warlock, Fellwinter's Iron Bond, 32-35 Discipline Strength, which is also a little bit of meh. Okay, so next up, Granny G on the hill. Let's see what goodness she has.
No.
Granny, what's up, girl? Alright, so for the Iron Lord artifacts, our first one up, Memory of Yolder coming in at 103 Strength. Following that, Memory of Silamar, 79-86 Intellect Discipline, which is not too shabby. And then we have Memory of Timur coming in at 79-77 Intellect Strength. Alright, thank you, madame. Alright guys, well next up, we're going to the tower, checking out the vendors, and of course everything else that happens over there. So in the beginning of the video, I was talking to you guys about you know, the opinionated articles and stuff like that, because we're running out of news to talk about. Well, I was reading one of them, and it had to deal with exotics, and they're talking about how exotics are going to be, I wouldn't say normalized, but how they are basically doing Destiny 2 exotics, and they said that they're going to be more democratized. I think that's what he said. I can't quite remember, but basically it boils down to how it's going to be less rare. They're making exotics for everybody, which I'm not really a fan of. You know, I believe, you know, a handful of exotics, you know, should be hard to get. I mean, hard to get. It makes them that much more special, but that's just me. Anyway, welcome to the tower, y'all. We're going to take a look at all the vendors first, and then we'll take a look at some weapon rolls and the bounties, of course. So, first, let's take a look at New Monarchy, see what they got going on over. Alright, so for New Monarchy, this week they are accepting Helium Filament. So if you want to donate some Helium Filament to get your rep up, then here you go. In terms of the weapon, let's take a look. We have Assembly, coming in with high caliber rounds, Quick Draw, Perfect Balance, Rodeo, and then Rangefinder, not too shabby. Then we have the Free Will, Explosive Rounds, Snapshot, Perfect Balance, Relentless Tracker, and then Firefly. Not too bad, but it's not really a great weapon to use in PvP. Then for the sidearm, we have the Impeacher 5, high caliber rounds, Quick Draw, fitted stock, relentless tracker, and reactive reload. For the sniper rifle, the Deposition 7 comes with Wild Hawk, long view, and view tack. None of them really all that great. Explosive rounds or quick draw, small bore, clown cartridge, and then Firefly. Not all that great of a sniper rifle this week, unfortunately. Moving on to the LMG. Let's see if this is any good. We have high caliber rounds, quick draw, hammer forged, unflinching, and then counterbalance. Not bad, but not great. I don't know if it's going to actually make it that much easier to use because it is a high firing auto LMG. So, all right, so nothing all that great there at New Monarchy. So let's take a look at the Vanguard, Dead Orbit, and Future Warcold and see what they got for us, and hopefully we'll find something a little better. All right, starting off with Dead Orbit, let's pop in and take a look at Reputation. And they are accepting spin metal. So if you need some rankage within Dead Orbit, there you go. Moving on to weapons. First up, let's take a look at the Extremophile. Alright, so we have MD Reflex, Sure Shot Is, and OEG. Then we have Flared Magwell, Quick Draw, Small Bore, Crowd Control, and Hidden Hand. That's that's a lot to choose from. That's actually not that bad, guys. That's not bad at all. I'm not sure how effective Hidden Hand is on an auto rifle, but you know, it couldn't hurt, right? But small bore. It's funny how it says reduced magazine size, but yet it gives me a green arrow. Crowd control, always great. All right, next we have the Keystone. Let's take a look at this bad boy. MD Reflex, range lens, and OEG. Then we have high caliber rounds. That's which is awesome. Quick draw, small bore again, triple tap, and Zen moment. Man, that's okay. I like to see something better for a harder hitting, slower firing scout rifle. Then Worlds to Come. Reflex, Red Dot ORA2, and OEG. Accelerated coils, quick draw, which is good, small bore, knee pads, and then hot swap. No, which is not really great. Alright, for the shoddy mixed Shotterstone, for our barrel, we have smooth ballistics, accurized ballistics, and then soft ballistics. Nothing that gives you any kind of decent range. Extended mag, which is nice to see for PvE. Then we have hip fire, which is pretty good. Perfect balance, who really needs that for a shotgun? Knee pads, which is good, but then crowd control. All in all, that looks like more of a PvE weapon. And moving on to sniper rifle, we have Hawkeye, Ambush, which is good, and Taxis. We have explosive rounds, quick draw, hammer forged, triple tap, and then hidden hand. This isn't too bad, man. With Ambush on there, it's not bad at all. It takes away your range a little bit, but then again, if you're using it for PvP, unless you're in a very, very long, arena, it's not going to matter. Oh no, not awesome, but it's definitely not terrible. Alright, so next up we have Unto Dust. Confined launch, linear compensator, hard launch, field scout, quick draw, javelin, tripod, and then tracking. This, my friends, is a pretty good one. Now, I'm not really a fan of the velocity on this thing. It's pretty slow. But tripod and tracking, that's always a pretty good deal. In my opinion, what makes a good PvP rocket launcher is blast radius about where it's at. That way you can, shoot someone halfway close and kill them and their friends without killing yourself if you're too close. Decent rate of fire like this one has, and the velocity. The velocity is a big one because people can react, they react quicker than enemies do in PvE. So the faster your rocket can get there, the better off you're going to be. So high velocity in PvP is always key for me. And of course, if you can get tripod on there with horseshoes and hand grenades, then my friends, you are in business. Now, don't be scared away by blast radius, man. Our rocket is going to kill no matter what. It's just how big of a radius it's going to kill other people. But the problem with that is if you're in a smaller map and you have a rocket launcher, or if you want to use one, you can sometimes kill yourself, even if you think you're in a safe distance, which if your blast radius is to the max, that isn't always how it's going to happen, especially if someone's shooting at you and you're at a quarter health or half health. you'd be surprised how fast you can kill yourself. So, smaller blast radius, increased velocity, horseshoes and hand grenades. That's what I like in terms of my rocket launcher. But everyone else is different, of course. Alright, Vanguard, where you at, blah? Let's go check out, is this Roni? Is my boy Roni? Roni. Alright, so first let's take a look at his weapons. The Continental. We have Reflex. Quick Draw is OEG coming with Rodeo. Eye of the Storm, which is the weapon becomes more accurate as your health gets lower. Then we have Braced Frame, Feather Mag, and Third Eye. Braced Frame and Third Eye? That's not too bad, man. With Rodeo. Anything else gives you some range? The range isn't ideal, but this is a pretty good PvE weapon, guys. Rodeo, Braced Frame, and Third Eye. That means you can have one stupid stable rifle with Rodeo on there and Braced Frame. And of course, then you have Third Eye, which gives you it gives you your tracker. So that's not bad, man. I wish there was a little more range on there, but hey, you can't be completely picky. All right, so next up, Parthian Shot. We have Red Dot ORA 2. Sure Shot is, and then OEG Rifle Scope coming in with Outlaw, Feeding Frenzy, Imperfect Balance, Feather Mag, and then Head Seeker. Yeah, also not too bad, man. It doesn't have that much of a reload. It's right about halfway, so Outlaw definitely helped that out. Head Seeker is good to use, but unfortunately with one like this, it shoots so slow that you have to hit, try to get it on the head every single time. If you get a body shot with it, more than likely you're going to get killed because how slow this thing fires. So Head Seeker, while a good perk, it's not good on a slow rate of fire pulse rifle like this one, at least in my opinion. But the perks aren't that bad, man. It's actually not a bad rifle. Alright, next up, let's take a look at the Angel's Advocate, which is what basically got me through the beginning of Rise of Iron. And I actually like this thing. Alright, so Red Dot ORA, Range Lens RLS3, and then Reflex coming in with Life Support, Mulligan, Braced Frame once again. But the problem is, look at those bullets, guys. You're going to get probably 12, so it's not that great. High caliber rounds, which is good. And then Third Eye. So, yeah, it's alright. Nothing to write home about. Alright, so how dare you? We have Steady Hand is, which is good. Fast Draw and Quick Draw. Then Hot Swap. Icarus. Rifled Barrel. That's nice. Explosive Rounds. And Third Eye once again. X Asterisk, which I get all the time from engrams. We have MD Reflex. Red Dot ORA 2. OEG coming in with Spray and Play, which is great. Life Support. Hand Laid Stock. Snapshot. And then Counterbalance. So next up, let's take a look at the sidearm, which is the Teacup Tempest. True Sight is, Fast Draw is, Quick Draw is, Mulligan, Feeding Frenzy, Fitted Stock, High Caliber Rounds, and Hot Swap. Next up, taking a look at the Occam's Razor, which usually is straight PvE, Linear Compensator, Accurized Ballistics, Aggressive Ballistics, and none of those, well, I can't really tell because this damn floating thing, but I think it gives you linear compensator gives you a sliver bit more range. I can't really tell because that stupid menu. Then we have Replenish, Knee Pads, Reinforced Barrel, nice range, Perfect Balance, and Crowd Control. That's actually a really, really good PvE weapon right here, guys. Yeah, not bad at all. I wouldn't take it into PvP, but for PvE, it's not too shabby. All right, next up, the Seventh Sense, which is actually a pretty good sniper rifle, y'all. Sight Sis, Short Gaze, which is great, and then Eagle Eye. This is the one you should be looking for, that or, of course, Ambush. Then we have Triple Tap, Spray and Play, which I love, Explosive Rounds, Perfect Balance, and Firefly. This is pretty good, man. Spray and Play is great no matter what weapon you have it on. Explosive Rounds, if you miss a headshot, that'll also deal a little more damage to people around you. But I, of course, go for Perfect Balance. And then Firefly, just to, tack on some extra damage for everyone else around there. Not great, but definitely, it's not nowhere near bad. So, I'd give it like an 8. 8.5. Alright, Bone Crusher, which is another one I get all the time. We have CQB Ballistics, Linear Compensator, Soft Ballistics, Feeding Frenzy, Hip Fire, Braced Frame once again, Appended Magazine, which is great for an LMG, then Rangefinder. Also, not bad, man. This is actually a really good one if you know you're looking for an LMG. Alright, so then disassembly partly required, aggressive launch, smart drift control, hard launch, then vacuum, life support, quick draw, heavy payload, and then cluster bombs. Cluster bombs are becoming pretty awesome in PvP right now. So you'd be surprised how much farther they can spread out some damage, and they're pretty powerful. So cluster bombs are definitely an option if you're one of those guys. Instead of shooting at people, you shoot, you know, at the area like the ground or the floor. Instead of shooting at a person, you shoot, you know, and stuff around them. If you're that kind of person, then this is going to be a good one to use. You just have to watch that blast radius. Once again, this is a slower shooting rocket because look at that velocity. It's like stuck halfway. So just make sure, yeah, you get hard launch in there, bumps it up a little bit with some cluster bombs, and it's not a bad rocket launcher. All right, so we are done at the Vanguard. Next, let's take a look at our old friend up meow. First off, reputation. See what she's accepting to bump up some rep.
How can I help you?
Hello, and she's accepting helium filament. So if you have helium filaments and you need to rank up, well, there you go, my friends. So for weapons, first let's take a look at the whale. Steady hand is, sure shot, and quick draw. Then we have explosive rounds, not bad. Quick draw, Hammer Forge, which is great to see. Triple tap, and then Firefly. This is not too bad at all, guys. Like, believe it or not, explosive rounds is always great. Hammer Forge, that extra bit of accuracy and your range. Hammer Forge is great on any weapon in PvP. And then Firefly, that's a whatever. But the rest, pretty solid. Alright, well, let's move on to the next weapon. We have the Walt, which is actually one of my favorite faster firing pulse rifles. So reflex, quick draw is OEG, coming in with high caliber rounds, which is good to see. Quick draw, perfect balance, outlaw, and then glass half full. All right, next up, let's take a look at the weighting, and we have reflex, red dot ORA, OEG, coming in with enhanced battery, good to see. Quick draw, hammer forge, also great because you want more accuracy with any fusion rifle. Spray and play, and Eye of the Storm, which is, man, whatever. Next, the Wounded. So we have red dot ORA, range lens, and then OEG coming in with explosive rounds, quick draw, perfect balance or unflinching, and then hidden hand. All right, next the sidearm, the Wormwood, everyone's favorite. We have true sight, fast draw, quick draw. Then we have armor piercing rounds, which isn't bad. Quick draw, fitted stock, cascade, and then reactive reload. So reactive reload is definitely a good one on there. I would have liked to have seen a range booster, but whatevs. Alright, next up, what do we have? We have the rocket, the warpath. Alright, starting off with aggressive launch, linear compensator, and then counter mass. We have field scout, snapshot, javelin, third eye, and then grenades and horseshoes. Javelin and grenades and horseshoes. This is not bad at all, guys. This is actually a pretty damn good PvP rocket launcher. Grenades and horseshoes, of course, is always great. Blast radius on this thing is to the max. So this one right here, guys, is a definite winner. We have linear compensator, which, like I told you guys before, gives you a lot more velocity. Coming in, I'd choose snapshot just in case you're an aimer. But then we have javelin, which gives you more velocity, which is awesome. Or you can stick with third eye if you're a cautious one. And then grenades and horseshoes. So this is already a good rocket launcher. Add grenades and horseshoes and a little bit of extra speed with javelin, and this is a badass rocket launcher. So I would definitely pick that up if you need a PvP rocket launcher. Alright guys, well, that is it for everything up here. Next, let's head into the Vanguard, see what they got for us, and then we will call it. Okay, so as always, we're going to start off with Zavala back here, and then we'll head up to the Crucible guys and finish up there. So, Zavala, my man, what is going on? Light your bubble in Destiny 2, bruh. Alright, so first up for bounties, we have Strike Elite. Earn gold, silver, and bronze tier achieved medals. You need to grab 9 of those. Then we have Sunrise. Let me grab that. Earn a gold tier achieved medal in the Nightfall before time expires. And then make a rainbow. Rapidly earn primary, special, and heavy streak medals to earn the rainbow medal. Okay, so let's head on up here. check out what we got in terms of bounties, and then we'll look at the weapons. So, Senor Shex, let's pop on in.
Let's get you ready.
So, for the Crucible bounties this week, we have Back to Basics, earn your skills in the Clash match type. Then we have Game of Rift, earn your skills in the Rift match type. Thank you, sir. Alright, next, take a look at some weaponage over here. And I would go through all these class items, but it would just take way too long. Alright, well, let's take a look in here. First up, we have the 0-Day Dilemma. See if this is a good one. I actually got destroyed last week by a 0-Day Dilemma. I tried to find what he was, like, his perks, but he ended up slipping away on me. Alright, so Red Dot ORA, Steady Hand is, and OEG Rifle Scope coming in with Rodeo, Danger Close, Small Bore, which is good, Rifled Barrel, also good, and then Counterbalance. This one is pretty awesome, guys. Rodeo with a little bit more stability and range, even though you lose mag, or you can do Rifled Barrel with a ton more range. You lose reload, but who cares about reload? And then Counterbalance, increased stability. Right here, guys, this is hard to beat. This is a pretty damn good weapon. Especially if you can land headshots all day, this will take down people pretty quickly. So, right here, not too shabby. Alright, next up, we have the B29 Party Favor, which is kind of like a Grass of Malik type deal. Then we have the Reflex, Quick Draw is, OEG, coming in with Secret Round, which is not a good perk to use, unfortunately. Partial Refund, Hand Late Stock, which is great, but look at that range, it takes it away. Feather Mag, whatever. Head Seeker, no, this is definitely not your cup of tea. Moving on, the Hero Formula. We have Red Dot ORA, Focus Lens, and OEG Rifle Scope, Zen Moment, or Take a Knee, Small Bore again, Armor Piercing Rounds, which is good, and Third Eye. All in all, not too bad. Zen Moment with a Third Eye makes it a pretty decent scout rifle. Alright, so moving along, we come to the infamous Palindrome. Let's see what she has for us this week. We have True Sight, Fast Draw, Quick Draw, Hot Swap, or Icarus. Rifled Barrel, which is good. Look at that range, guys. With explosive rounds and luck in the chamber. This is pretty good, man. Alright, next up, let's take a look at the sidearm. Anton's Rule. Starting off with the sights, we have True Sight, Fast Draw, Quick Draw, coming in with Outlaw. There it is. Cascade, Fitted Stock, Lightweight, and Reactive Reload. All in all, not too bad, man. Wish we had a range on there, but whatevs. Next, the Event Horizon, also one of the better sniper rifles here. We have Wildhawk, Longview, and Taxis. Missing a better sight. Army of One, Perfectionists, Explosive Rounds, Casket Mag, Firefly. Nah, not really anything to worry about. And then finally, we have something wicked. Something wicked. Warhead Veneers, Linear Compensator, Countermass, Spray and Play, which is great, Danger Close, Quick Draw, Field Scout, Cluster Bombs. All in all, not bad, man. Like, Spray and Play is awesome no matter what kind of weapon you use, but add that with some cluster bombage, and look at that velocity to blast radius. That's pretty good, man. Stability sucks, but who really needs stability in a rocket launcher, right? Yeah, not bad at all. And I think that, my friend, that wraps us up. Alright, well, that's it, guys. Once again, thank you all so much for watching. As always, feel free to hit me up on Twitter or even Facebook. Sly Nation or Sly Nation Gaming is the best place to stay up to date with everything Destiny, Destiny 2 awesomeness, Mass Effect Andromeda, and of course, new updates coming out of my channel. Now, even though it's Tuesday, I wanted to wish all you guys out there an awesome Memorial Day. Thank you for everyone out there who has served and laid down their life, so I have the opportunity to be able to make videos and sit here today talking to you guys. No matter what country you're from, if it's US, Canada, Australia, I mean, Great Britain, Germany, Holland, Belgium, Spain, Italy, wherever. All of us out there in some way have sacrificed our soldiers to be where we are today. So thank each and every one of you who've served or have served or are serving. You guys are awesome. And I'll catch you guys next time. Later, y'all.